Same same sweater that I used for my first video. So, I just got back from watching 28 Years Later, Bone Temple, and I gotta say, it was a pretty good improvement from the last one I watched. I am all caught up to the 28 Dates franchise. I already watched the first two back in like the early 2000s and 2010s, so like 28 days and weeks. Right. And when I watched 28 years later last year, I think it was 2025 that it came out. Yeah, last year. I was disappointed. I was disappointed with the story, the story itself, and the story itself and like unanswered questions. It didn't really meet my expectations. Yeah, there was some gore. It's a zombie movie and everything. You still see the rabid nature of the infected because we understand that the rage virus is pretty much the rabies virus, but like 10 times worse. It's like mutated. So I guess the questions that I would have liked answered in those movies is like why and how did the rage virus survive for that long? How did it mutate? Like how did it mutate? And it kind of did answer my question in the how did it survive for so long, which I believe it's because like spoilers too. There's spoilers in this. Like there's this one scene where the alpha, the big guy with the big schlong, uh he was like hunting this guy and he pretty much like yanked his head off like predator style. You yank the head off and the spinal cord is like attached to it still. And he's sitting, he's literally eating his brain, zombie style, like a literal zombie. The whole type shit, and like he's eating his brain. So I would assume I'm not a cannibal. I'm not. I would have just assumed there is some kind of nutrition that they get off of eating people and animals too, because there are moments where they hunt deers too. Like these infected like eat the deers. So I would assume like whatever they kill, they eat too. Because like if you look back into 28 Days Later, the first movie, in the end of that movie, spoiler warning for all those movies, 28 days, weeks, and years. So in the first movie of 28 days, you could literally see in the ending of that movie, like the zombies dying off because you can even notice that they're malnourished. They're like skinny and they're like dying of hunger. So we thought that it was just that was their cure, like weight off the virus, because like they thought that they thought it was going to just die off like a phase, and then 28 weeks later comes by, and we are left to assume that the main character, the boy who is a carrier of the virus, can get infected but isn't really turned into a zombie. We're left to assume that he is the key of like curing this virus, but in reality, no. Everything turns batshit crazy, and you can see in the end of yes. Oh, excuse me. You can see in the ending of 28 weeks later the infected running into Paris, all over Europe. Which kind of indicates that it's spreading. And then 28 weeks later, 28 years later, you see it's a post-apocalyptic world. Everybody is left to pretty much our, I guess, 400 or 500 years late, like earlier into our ancestry, where like we were just left to like survive, like hunt our own food and craft our own equipment and stuff like that. Where like they're no longer using technology. I also gotta point out that I think they don't really confirm whether if it's just Europe affected by it because in 28 years later there's like this soldier guy, like this soldier who was with the main character Spike from 28 years later. He has an iPhone and he says that he has this girl waiting for him somewhere else, and where eventually he gets killed by the Alpha. So I guess the rest of the world isn't affected by it. It's just Europe, England, Paris, and I would assume it's just Europe. Mm. And then 28 Years Bone Temple. It was a pretty good movie. Like it was fascinating to see the process. Like, of course, pretty much the Alpha gets cured, which is really fascinating. Like the way he got cured, it's like if it was some kind of cancer treatment. Like it's a slow, moderate treatment, and he eventually, I guess, gets cured because he's like no longer like even his own pack tries to kill him because the doctor, Ian, he he believes that it was not just a virus that replaces your mind, it clouds your mind. Like you're not completely a zombie or you're just like mindlessly eating. Like he thinks that the virus kind of like clouds your judgment. Like what you're seeing is not real. That the reason these infected are killing people is because like they're apparently the alpha, he's seeing a monster. Like regular people, they're like monsters. And so I thought that was a really fascinating direction that this movie took. And apart from that, like, I'm not really, you'd have to watch it. Like, I guess my whole point of this video is that I really wish that this movie could have, I guess, answered those questions. Like why did it survive for that long? Like I don't know if I wasn't paying attention to it enough, but I just still feel confused on that part. Like how did this virus survive for so long? Like did it mutate into another strand that let it survive for that long, or what happened to the previous movies were like I don't know. I guess those are just my points. Those are the only questions I have. Like why? Why? How? How did this virus survive for so long? And well yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye.